All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I'm DC. You can find me all over the internet under DC Lasair. It's DCLASAIR. Go to DCLasair.com to find all the things. And, follow me on Blue Sky, because that'd be cool. Make number go up. All right. See here. I'm going to make sure that I am streaming to all the places I think I'm streaming to. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for coming on in and joining me this fine Friday. I was going to wear the sweatery shirt I was wearing, but then I go, well, I have to wear flannel. It's my duty as a bi, right? So, And this weekend, I will be hanging out with a friend tomorrow downtown. And he's like, I got to go pick up concert tickets tomorrow. You want to come with me and we'll go grab a sandwich? I'm like, sure, I'll go grab a sandwich. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. That'll be fun. Otherwise, the weekend's pretty short. Oh, watch streak. Ooh, 15. Wow. Like clockwork. Amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for hitting the button. That's pretty fantastic. And yeah, so when we get to Tech Friday, we'll be talking all about cloud storage, a new reading website, track your reading website, which I may have talked about a couple months ago, but it's gotten some improvements. And then another thing that might be an announcement, might not be, I'm not sure, but we'll get to all that. All right, then I got a charity stream to prepare for next week. Have a charity stream on Saturday, so that'll be fun. I'll talk about it when there's a post about it. That'll be great. I'm producing for a bunch of great people. And I did get an ask today for the stream where I'm like, that's a lot of work, and I'm gonna have to reply with there's something they want, and I'm like, no, I unless there's someone else that can be dedicated to thing, it's going to be a lot to keep track of while we're live. Yeah, best to be honest. Yeah. We can talk about that later, right? And so, yeah, I'm not too concerned about it. It's just, would it be nice if this was possible? Yes, but it's a lot of extra mental energy and a lot and more attention divided amongst things. Plus, you have to do it for each player that's going to be on stream. And probably the DM too. So that's 5 other things in 5 separate windows to keep track of, and that's a bit too much. But yeah, well, we'll think about that. Unless all the places have some sort of automatic thingy. I'm getting too far afield. All right. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so it's something need to talk about at some point with the person that brought me on to produce the stream. But let's get into it. So today, once again, it's Friday, so it's Tech Friday. And today we're going to talk about the sexy cloud storage. I know it's a great topic that will bring in all the people. I mean, I'll show some shoulder. Does that help, Sal? No nips, but a little shoulder action. Yeah. Cloud storage for a little shoulder. Yeah. And then there's a reading website we'll talk about, or a website to track your reading. Calls Twitch. And hi, JD Lady. Hi, Brian. Hi, Rex. Welcome on in. And the last thing we're going to talk about is Rode made a new product announcement. Well, maybe. There's been one article, and it's not even on their website yet, so I don't really know. And we'll get to it, because it'll all be fun. Puddle Glum, hello. Welcome on in. All right, so first up, I want to talk about cloud storage. And I started thinking about this earlier in the week because I have a subscription to Microsoft Office, or Microsoft 365, and the yearly rate is going up this year. I'm like, well, I don't really use Microsoft Office. I mean, I open it maybe a couple times every other month, probably, and I don't even need to. So I was thinking about, well, how much do I need this subscription? Well, the problem comes in, I do use OneDrive a lot. But you can't separate out the two anymore. I can't separate out OneDrive and MS Office. You're getting OneDrive and Microsoft 365 as a package, no matter what. And so I thought, well, this does seem like a lot. But then I started comparing other plans. And the Microsoft Office 365 family plan is not a bad deal in comparison to everything else. So let's break this down. So if I keep on the Microsoft 365 family plan, I am sharing it with a couple friends, so we can, kind of reduce the cost there. You get 1 terabyte of cloud storage. And most other places, for about $120 per year, you can get 2 terabytes of cloud storage. Now that varies because some places are, $8 per month. Some are, $8.99 and $9.99. But about $10 per month for 2 terabytes is pretty consistent across many cloud storage places. And you only get 1 terabyte with the Microsoft Family Plan. But what else do I get with the family plan? I get 9 pieces of software, all the, again, I think it's like 9, whatever comes with Office 365, that get updates. Plus, I can share that with 6 people who each get their or 5 other people who each get their own terabyte of hard drive space, plus access to what is the most widely used software, or one of the most widely used software packages, for about the same price as 2 terabytes of cloud storage everywhere else. I'm like, okay, Now, if I went down, now if I said, okay, friends, we need to really talk about this, and because if I go to the regular individual plan of Microsoft Office, that's just $100 for a year, right? And we're talking yearly prices. So about $130 per year for the 365 family plan that lets you have 6 people, so me and 5 others. Or I can do, for the same price, I can do 2 terabytes, or relatively the same price. It's probably like $10 more for a year. But so Microsoft Office, again, about $130. But for 2 terabytes, everywhere else, comparable pricing, about $120 per year, just about everywhere else. And then I'm like, well, do I actually need a whole terabyte of space as well? And so I looked at my current OneDrive setup, and I've been using about 330 gig for years now. And I have some video files up there of previous shows I've done. So there are some big files, but I can probably transfer those away onto something else. And so I was looking at things that might be lower priced, like, say, $5 a month. Now I need 330 gigabytes, right, of cloud storage, still going for cloud storage. But most lower plans only give you 200 gigabytes of cloud storage. I need at least 130 more than that. Now, I did find a website which had their lowest price plan is for 500 gigabytes, which is perfect for me because I have room to grow, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, the other option is to self-host cloud storage, but that's extra hardware, extra time, and for me, kind of defeats the purpose of cloud storage because cloud storage is also off-site. It's my off-site backup. And unless I have a friend where I can go, hey, I need to stick a chunk of hardware in your house, I may have to come over every now and then and fiddle with it. Yeah, I can remote in and do some things, but if the hardware goes down, I have to do something with it. Plus, when I need to access it, I'll be, knocking on your internet's door to get access. So it's just not practical for me for off-site. I have offline storage. I have a little portable hard drive I plug into my computer. I take that way. So kind of doing the 3-2-1 thing, right? We have a copy on the active computer, a copy that goes onto a hard drive that gets unplugged and stored on a shelf somewhere, and then we have the cloud backup, which is offsite, and if anything happens to the house, I still have access to that data. And so that was a consideration too, was self-hosting, but that's not going to work out for me at all. So I did find a couple other things just for sake of discussion. There, I saw a lot of cloud hosting solutions, and I'm just going to have to. There are some top 5 videos up on, top 5 cloud storage solutions for 2025, blah, blah, blah. These 2 were always on the list somewhere. But these were the ones I liked most of all. So if you are looking for cloud storage, the first one is sync.com. And they have monthly and annual prices. I'll just boop, 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 right over there. There's Sync. So as you can see, annual prices $8. Again, 2 terabytes. So you're $8 to $9.99 range, 2 terabytes. Their personal $5 range, $5 annually, 200 gigabytes. Still too small for me. And that's, as you can see, for individuals at the annual rate. Monthly. And all these prices, you might find deals, you might find things that say for the first 3 months it'll be less, but then after that it goes up to the full price. So I'm someone that when I see my when I look at a cable or satellite bill, I'm not so worried about that first three months. It's can I pay every month afterwards at the full price. Right? So your deal prices don't really bring me in. They're nice, but I need to know if this is something I can handle consistently. And I'm sure that company would like their money for a service they provide consistently. Now, my favorite one of these cloud storage services that came up is called pCloud, which is based in Switzerland, pcloud.com. And they have really good encryption. And their pricing is pretty good. Need to make a pop-up go away that just decided to come up. And they also offer one-time pricing, which is amazing. So there's the pCloud pricing. So right now it's November 7th, Happy End 7 Day, 2025. This is their pricing for the lifetime plan. So, hey, look, there's 500 gigabytes of storage, their lowest plan. One-time payment, $200. Or, about regular payment, $60 annual, but the first one would be $50 for a year. Again, perfect. And here again, we have 2 terabytes, about $100 a year, 120 in there, right? When that's what we see. And then their monthly bills, about $5 for 500 gigabytes of storage, $10, 2 terabytes of storage. And the lifetime plans are what really get me here. This is a really strong idea. But then it's, well, how long until this actually saves me money? Which it would be a couple years. And then how much longer is 500 gigs or 2 terabytes going to be good enough? And lifetime isn't your lifetime necessarily, right? It's lifetime of the service. Yep, how long is the company going to stay open? Exactly. And I wanted to mention that as well, because places like Microsoft and Apple, they've been around a while. They've been doing this. There aren't widespread reports of them poking at your data. There's, legal things that say, okay, if you're doing illegal things, if you plan on doing illegal things, don't be using cloud storage. Don't put your files in the cloud. So because yeah, you can get a warrant and get in trouble. But there's really no evidence of just random searches from Microsoft or Apple or even Google, any of those places. You can look at 20 some years of internet history and, go ahead and send me the articles of where it happened and we can talk about those. So that's the other advantage. It's like I had just heard of pCloud. I don't know how long they've been around, but they do have a pretty good deal. They were recommended by just about every video I saw on cloud storage. In the top 5, top 10 of them individually. Another thing about pCloud is they do also offer a lifetime family plan as well. So that's great. Taking notes, do illegal things, storing cloud. Got it. Hi, Dre. Welcome on in. Let's see, Rex, you said something above. I think you are ignoring the option of a team of homing pigeons that carry the data on rugged thumb drives to another location and another set to ferry them back. Amazing. So yeah, that is the recent thinking about cloud storage. Now, I don't know, a few weeks, maybe a month ago, I talked about syncing. And syncing and cloud storage are kind of two separate things, but because my cloud storage that I primarily use is up for renewal, it got me thinking. Got me thinking about other possible solutions. And for me right now, pCloud seems to be a good idea because I have LibreOffice. So I'm not too worried about not having access to documents that are saved from the Microsoft Office ecosystem. I can still open those. I write everything in Obsidian and use Markdown. So I don't really use Word at all anymore. And backups. Yep. Rex, we've discussed this. Homing pigeons go home. So you need a specifically one trained at every potential address of your network sharing circle and one to go back. Amazing. Tanya, hello. Welcome on in. So yeah, those are my current thoughts on cloud storage, cloud backup. Now, there are ways to save some money, and depending on your needs, that's it. And my couple days worth of analysis, all prepackaged for you, and a little shoulder on the side. You're here for having a sort of ring network for this, a token ring, if you will. Wow, Rex. Pigeons do like onion rings. Keep talking. All right. So that is cloud storage. If you have comments about it, please put them in chat. You're looking for seed funding. Very good. Very good. All right. So the other thing I've been kind of looking into, and I just happened across a video on my YouTube feed. about this website. I've been looking for tracking my reading and, having reviews and things like that. And there is a website that's recently come up that does this and isn't bound to Goodreads or the other one people like, and they don't use AI. They make a point of saying we don't use AI. It's called Pagebound, and their tagline is Pagebound is a social reading site. Think if Goodreads and Reddit had a baby. And so it's a nice looking site. I'll just go right to it. Boop. There you go. You can find out all about the people behind Pagebound down here. Tools for modern book tracking. They even give you little quests. If you want to gamify your reading, you can. Or you can just treat it as, these are the books I've read, and here's my reviews of them. But if you want, other people can follow your lists, things like that. There's all sorts of social features. And yeah, no AI. So even better. If you want to check it out, there it is. Pagebound.co. Today's emoji. They have a most discussed yesterday, most finished yesterday. They have all sorts of lists. So if you're looking for reading, there's lists you can look at. Things that you like, that type of thing. You can follow people. You can do their quests if you want to. Make your own list. And while I probably wouldn't use much of the social features, it's still a pretty good site. And again, it's not Goodreads. So yeah, and there's also an import tool so you can import your listings from a few other services and put them into Pagebound. So if you're looking for one, take a look at them. I found it great. And finally, Rode announced a new product, maybe. It's not listed anywhere on their website. I can't find any press release about them. But The Verge has an article about the Rodecaster Video S. And that's the only place I've seen anything about it. I don't know if The Verge broke a street date or something, but I've been on Rode's website. I even tried it this morning. Now it could have come up, since we started streaming. I can't find any other articles about this product. But we'll take a look at it because, if true, is exciting. So here it is. The Rodecaster Video S for $500, which is, the big one that they made is $1,000, $1,200. Right down there. Apparently, this S version available for pre-order now. Where? $500. So for what this does, yeah, $500 is a lot, but for what it is, it's also a pretty good price. And it's just a slightly smaller version of the original. Again, you get to plug in multiple cameras. It like the other one, it is 1080p. There's fewer inputs, but it's a smaller device, so kind of expect that. You can put in XLR, They can put your mic into it. Or you can connect USB mics or Rode Series 4 wireless mics. Touchscreen right there. It basically does all the things it can do. And even in the comments, I clicked on these and no one's asking, and people are like, oh, that's cool. And no one's asking for a link to it or anything like that. So if this is available for pre-order somewhere, that's cool. I can't find a listing for it anywhere. So I'm like, because I usually provide you with a story and then the link to the actual thing, but there's no link to the actual thing. So there you go. Take it as you will. Looks neat, but so far devices that are meant to replace the Stream Deck haven't worked for me yet. Yeah. And this is more for camera switching, so I would still need my Stream Decks. But yeah, you could do some trickery to replace it. But yeah, I'm keeping my Stream Decks. I'm never getting rid of those. But if you want to switch between a bunch of cameras, go for it. But yeah, I Googled multiple terms, related terms. I looked over Rode's website. Normally, we don't have to wonder, does this product actually exist, right? I checked the usual category on Rode's website. It's not in where they have the other the other Rodecaster video. And worse, because one notable site, Verge, made an article, every single AI copy swap outlet has done the same. Yep, saw that. So I'm like, well, it's just going to be the Verge article. So Nick, hello, welcome on in. We're talking about a product that we have no idea if it actually exists. Because there's one article on The Verge and nothing else. It is amazing. It's this, the Rodecaster Video S, which may or may not be a thing right now. I mean, there's pictures. But yeah. So this delighted me for many reasons. One, if it's a real thing, it's an interesting idea. But also because that's the only proof of it, right? They could have gotten fooled too. And in the couple days since this been up, this article was posted November 5th. So in the 2 days it's been up, it hasn't been taken down. I can still clearly access it, and there's 4 comments, and none of them are like where link for thing. So comments aren't shut off. I could still comment if I were a commenter on for The Verge. So odd. It's not like it's some no-name brand either. It's an industry leader. So weird, right? It's just I look at Thing. I'm kind of excited about Thing. If I had need for multiple cameras or more than, say, 2 cameras, this would probably be something I would look at. But it may or may not be a thing. So yeah. Okay. So you have anything you want to talk about, if you want to talk about cloud storage or your favorite reading apps or things that may not exist, go ahead and put that in chat. We can definitely talk about it. Yeah, otherwise, we're going to kind of keep on going here down the train, but that's it for the main thrust of Tech Friday today. Getting into a little TTRPG stuff. If you are on D&D Beyond with a subscription, I think Master Tier, you can get access to the new Forgotten Realms books. There's sort of a world guide, and then there's a guide for all the or for adventures. Just glad our 5th season is finally on site. Yay! You can post that link. That'd be great. Daggerheart, Darrington Press is going to make a bunch of announcements at PAX U. So hopefully those get posted somewhere, because I'm not attending PAX U for a couple reasons, but mostly it's just going to be way too many people, and because it's the Philadelphia Marathon the same weekend, and without even experiencing it, my anxiety at the thought of it just spikes way too much. So just not going. The other one is money concerns, but I know it's just I will not be able to handle that mess, and the construction would just add, or not the construction, but the road blocking would just add to the anxiety. So I just decided not to go, and save myself save myself a possible panic attack. So oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. But yeah, so there will be announcements about Daggerheart at PAX U. Let's see here. We have glad you're taking care of you. Yeah, thank you. And we can get into that in just a minute. So those are kind of the big things I'm looking at. Is the upcoming new Daggerheart announcements, because that's one of the newer systems I'm interested in. There's quite a few new systems I'm interested in, like 5th season and Daggerheart and Draw Steel, all kind of have my interest right now, on top of D&D. So yeah, it's a pretty good time if you like role-playing games, because there's a lot, a lot of indies, a lot of fun things coming out. I'm still working on my Obsidian Vault for keeping track of your TTRPG campaigns. Rex kindly took a look at it, gave me some feedback, and I have to read over again, process that. But the big thing is I have all the written instructions out, but now I have to make videos on the instructions, and go to a little more in depth, and I can talk about some of my design philosophy around it. as well. But I want to have those done before I put this out there for everyone to use. And we did take a little bit of a look, going back, speaking of cloud storage and everything, because my mind's kind of focused on Obsidian and how I use it for everything. We did take a look at some of LibreOffice, the new, or I'm sorry, not LibreOffice. I'm sorry, I messed that up. We looked at Affinity, some of the Affinity stuff last week. So if you're interested in that, check out last week's Tech Friday. Or it's just a quick review. I still haven't had time to play with it properly. But yeah, so brief talk about, now we're separating out tech, go to brief talk about stuff. I do have generalized anxiety disorder. So it is, you know, something I have problems with, something I deal with. If the anxiety goes really, really high, I do have a medication to help bring that down. So I do take care of myself in that way. But yeah, sometimes things are just too much. So and I sometimes just need to take care of myself in that way. It's one of those brain gremlins that it's hard for me to kind of calm down with and just be like, okay, I'm okay. You know, that process takes a while because the anxiety spike just runs right through every other thought. Always take care of yourself. Yeah, thanks, Prax. And hi, Prax. Welcome on in. Good to see you. All right, we're just looking at articles now. Kind of had a quick Tech Friday today. I talked all about cloud storage and showed some shoulder. Talked about a website to track your reading and a new product from Rode that may or may not actually exist. Oh, this is something I was looking for because Zero had mentioned this on his stream earlier. IDW Games is going to produce Godzilla, the role-playing game. Reading tracking. Watch the VOD later. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of looking for a way to track some of my reading and just, you know, keep that up. And there are some integrations with Obsidian, but they mainly involve Goodreads and things like that. And so not really wanting to use Goodreads or the other one that gets talked about, Storygraph. And, and it avoids AI, so yay. And it's a nice looking site, so It's pagebound.co if you want to take a look at it. Let's see here. What do we have? Okay, so this game focuses on the IDW comic books take on Godzilla. Which is, well, here's the article I'm reading off Bells of Lost Souls, or Bell of Lost Souls. And I'll quote from the article. In the briefest of nutshells, this is an apocalyptic world that has been ravaged by kaiju attacks, and different groups around the world have to deal with the fallout. Oh, Storygraph. Yeah, Storygraph. How do you like Storygraph? I mean, obviously you like it, but what's kind of the top thing that makes it a good choice for you? Mainly it's not owned by Amazon, right? Oh, nice. Okay. Recently switched to Pagebound because it's devved by a small team of 2 women because of their explicitly anti-AI message. Awesome. Storygraph. Okay. It's okay, Prax. I got what you meant. Let's see. I'm just looking for other things here. We're going to take a break soon, and I set up a command to do a thing. I don't know if it's going to work, so I am waiting. Because like I said about last month, I think I somehow deleted my StreamerBot folder and lost all the commands I had put into it. And one of those commands was a timer that went off at a specific time, and someone else made that script. Well, with the new StreamerBot, I'm like, well, you can kind of do it yourself too. So I tried a thing. I don't know if it'll actually work, but I'll find out in about a minute. Testing time things is such pain because you're like, well, now I have to wait, right? And me, I just kind of kludged together a thing without really knowing, oh, yeah, this should work. I'm like, well, according to this works, but do I actually know that'll work? No, I have no idea whether I did it right or not. So, like, it's not, even in theory, I'm going, well, this seems like good, but I don't even have the backing to say, yeah, this will work. No. All right. So, next week, if nothing else comes up for Tech Friday, I might do a stream of going over how I set up OBS for producing a stream. I think that's what I want to talk about next week. All right, so let's take a break and be right back in about 5 minutes. I'm going to run some ads to keep the pre-rolls away. See you all soon. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Turn off Spotify. All right. So, hey, Leaf, welcome on in. Now's the time where we relax, talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. I look for articles of things. I did get to play D&D in the regular campaign I play in. We're playing the latest Phandelver adventure. And my DM, who's one of the players in my game when I run Spelljammer, started us off on a kind of Halloween horror adventure thing, so that was fun. I won't get into some of the monsters because just it was there was some creepy stuff in there, so but it was fun. And I'm a big fan of horror movies, so you know. And my Spelljammer campaign is looking to wrap that up in the relatively near future. Maybe another few sessions. And then we're going to switch to a little Shadow Dark adventure. Because I'm kind of interested in Shadow Dark. Maybe a game where we all where the players pilot mechs. And then back to a D&D campaign. My friend is a DM for Baldwin Games, so they need to know D&D, and I need to know D&D. So yeah, running D&D games makes sense for us. But yeah, I'm gonna try out a few other systems while I transition from one campaign into another. And I get to prepare them a little more. I'll turn on some music. If music's gonna come on, there we go. There's already Black Friday deals going on. So if you can save yourself some monies anywhere, save yourself some monies. If you're rotating DMs, who's the worst at including jokes and puns? Ooh. I gotta figure out how I want to take that sentence. I would say I definitely put in more puns per capita. And more jokes. Sounds like a self-report, right? I'm very much, I find, yeah, in the moment of, I find this really funny, so this is going to happen, or that's cool, so let's work together to make that happen. And yeah. I would also say on average, I tend to do the weirder things as well. Not to like, it's just a different style, not to like make myself sound better. It's just I there's weird things in my games. Plus, my home game with, shocking, right? My home game with my friends is also like my experimental group too. So I'm like, yeah, I told my friend, I'm like, yeah, I try different things out on you guys, and sometimes I don't tell you what those are. Sometimes it's just different way of narrating something and seeing what's going on. Nothing wrong with weird things in games. Exactly. All right, let's look for any announcements. Kit bashing rule sets and mechanics. Yeah. Can I share a link from a friend? Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you're VIP. You can do that. Yeah. Okay, checking road socials. No announcement from them today. And take a look at their website again. Nope, nothing new up on the road website either. They just announced their announcement trailer. Oh, neat. Brawlhalla, the card game. Okay, cool. Tabletop version of Brawlhalla. Nice. Let's see. Can't do anything new recently. No, Hannah's been doing her normal for Hannah cat things. Last night she had the zoomies around midnight or so. I can hear her running around everywhere. Let's see. Haven't checked this site yet. Oh, if you use Android Auto, be aware that Google Gemini is now appearing on Android Auto. It replaces Google Assistant as the onboard AI. If you want to read more about it, there's a post on Tech Radar. Let's see, Rex, what do you have here? Do you pull from other systems GM guides when playing a new session, or do you stick to the system book when coming up with ideas? I will. It does depend on what I'm doing in the session, so sometimes I will pull from other systems. Like, hey, that's a fine idea. Let's make a homebrew D&D version of X or Y. One of the reasons I want to try out Shadow Dark is because I think Shadow Dark has some good ideas that I can apply to other things in it. As a person who plays mostly 5th edition D&D type games, things under the open gaming licenses and things like that. But yeah, and sometimes it's different ways of tracking damage that I hear about or read, or I saw a video on a thing. I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So I'll try doing that, see if that makes my life easier. And this is where my home game is my experimental group. So. Which, oh man, can I find all the articles I was thinking of? Let me see if I can find some of the research I've been doing. Don't know if I've saved any. Oh, one moment. I made a database for this, didn't I? Yeah. All right. I made a thing in Notion that does the thing I need it to do. Amazing. Like the idea of one of the things I've been looking at recently that I've talked about is hex crawls and how long a hex is and what happens in hexes and everything. So I've been watching videos and reading articles on that, and that isn't any one system in particular. But I'm going to start doing more hex-based things. Let's see here, talent. Here we go. So I saw this because Sly Flourish did a video on it, and then he mentioned his way of doing the same thing, but tallying damage, a quick way of keeping track of damage. But here is the article that inspired all of that by a person that goes by Patchwork Paladin. And they go through their system. And they give you variations on the system as well. So I kind of went with this, and then Sly Flourish's idea of that. If you do 5 damage, that's a slash. If you do 10, that's an X. And so, and then you make a row of boxes, or you just count. And so I have 5 lines, so that's a total of 50 hit points, and then I go down a line for another 10, and like that. And then the extra you can keep as tally marks at the top, and anytime that extra gets to 5, I make another slash, and then when you work with 5s and 10s, it's easier, so you can round up the damage that someone gives you to 5, 10, depending where you want to round it at. And if you want to save the extra damage, just make little tally marks above your X things. So, but yeah, it's a very quick way of keeping track of damage. I'm using maps on D&D Beyond for encounters, so I can just type in the damage. And same thing, but my last Spelljammer game, I didn't use that, and I just marked down on paper the monsters. Monsters' hit points, and it's really easy. So just another way to do things to try out. So yeah, so not only do I look at game mechanics, but just systems of doing things within TRPG, like tracking damage and all that. Now the 5-10 thing depends on your system, right? This doesn't quite work with Daggerheart without some modification because of the way damage is tracked, and you have armor, and that armor rating goes down as you get hit and things like that. But if you're just taking away hit points, or adding them back in, the tally marks and the X's and slashes work really well. Now I'm just looking at my bookmarks I have in my vault for future research things. Oh, I don't remember if I shared this. I may have. But if you're looking for a bookmark manager, because, our web browsers are not really great at bookmark managing, but if you want something a little more dynamic, there's this site called raindrop.io. You can tag them and organize them in various ways. So, yeah, kitty, come on in. The door's open. Do I need to open the door all the way for you? Come on. Fine. Come on in. Hi. Hi. Hi, Hannah. Yeah. Kitty break. This is Hannah. Yeah. Okay, don't claw into my belly. Let me put you down. Thank you for not clawing into my belly. I appreciate that. Lady, lady, and Springleaf, say hi. Oh, Anna has met her stream quota. Well, what she wants to do is somehow we got into this little habit of, yes, hi, of when she comes down here, there's a particular way she wants to be played with. And that's her flopping on her side while I stretch down, and she's on the carpet. I stretch down, I scratch her, and she puts her back leg up. I take it in my hand, I kind of flip her over, or I spin her around, and it's like one of her favorite things to do. So apparently it's time to do that. And she's, never clawed up my hand because of it, or, she does the play bite, and she's never broken my skin with that either, so. Isn't that right? And then after a minute, she'll start bathing herself with with her front on her front paw, and licking the paw and doing the thing. Then she looks up at me like, "Hey, I'm still here." Sometimes I'll scratch at her, and she'll kind of put her leg up, but then she flips herself over. So I'm like, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a yawn. Okay. All right, cat distraction. Yeah. Oh, I posted this in my Discord. But Ars Technica has an article on how to declutter, quiet down, and take the AI out of Windows 11 25H2. So if you're wondering how to do that, Ars Technica has a guide for you. Nope, Hannah has left me. Ooh, let's see. Friday. I don't think I'm having plans tonight, so that means possible riff tracks, watching of bad movies. Of course, I do have some bad movies from the Riff Tracks website to watch. I have, let's see here, what I recently get. Yeah, I have one called Hack-O-Lantern. Which, according to the synopsis on the Riff Tracks website, Hack-O-Lantern even has actual Satanists, including a satanic grandpa who lectures his progeny about not being into Satan enough, saying folks see stuff like, "You've enough to try the patience of Satan." The one thing Hack-O-Lantern doesn't have is an evil jack-o'-lantern, or an evil pumpkin, or any clear reason to be called Hack-O-Lantern at all. Amazing. I have that to look forward to. And I did get a movie that is supposedly tremendously awful. Like, new levels of awful. And, it's an older movie, but it's called... but Riff Tracks just released it, like last month or so. And it's called The Guns of El Chupacabra. Tremendously awful is quite the prompt, right? It has Joe Estevez, which, if you haven't seen Joe Estevez act, you're in for a treat, possibly. Okay, yeah, that one is bad. Robert Zadar is in it, who is just amazing to watch. And in an odd choice, it also has Kevin Eastman, one of the co-creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and apparently he plays some kind of space emperor. And this is another film by... Oh, what did he make? By the guy who made such classics as Roller Gator and Baby Ghost, both starring Joe Estevez. Oh, Scott Shaw. Yeah. So if you're looking for movies that aren't great and you just want to... Oh, and Donald G. Jackson is involved in a lot of these as well. As director, or wrote the screenplay. So Scott Shaw, Donald G. Jackson go do a lot of stuff, and a lot of their things star Joe Estevez. So yeah, I have Guns of El Chupacabra to possibly look forward to tonight if I just don't watch the Riff Tracks Twitch channel. And Scott Shaw does this thing called Zen filmmaking, where the actors largely improvise their lines. And they kind of know the story, but everything else they do on the spot. And it's never quite worked out for them. But, once again, there are terrible movies that make money. And sometimes that's all some producers, directors, and that care about is that I shot this for like $3,000. I made $15,000 profit, right? So making a return and then some on your investment is a valid dream. Yeah. And if you're wondering why some bad movies get a sequel, there is, or at least there was at a time, there was a lot of money in U.S. films in foreign markets, and no matter the quality, just, hey, this was made in the U.S., we're watching it. It has someone maybe they kind of heard of or something like that. And so what we have bad movies can do really well and we've heard that with like big American movies too, that they're larger in other places. Well, this also works for the smaller movies as well, the low budget movies, the bad movies. That it happens. Yeah, low-budget movies, Corpsman, Trauma, can also work as a great training ground for stars and crew. Yeah, bad movies can also serve as a tax write-off for investors. Sometimes the money people want to be able to say they are producers. Yep. Yeah, and when I was taking a class on being a production assistant, when we had film incentives in my state, the person who taught it, he did a lot of background work for movies and production type work. And one of his sayings was that it's not his job to determine whether a movie should or should not be made. It's to put the budget, every dollar up on the screen. Because there are a lot of talented people in these things too, and sometimes there's some that are just so awful that you wonder why. And just, if you're wondering what my lowest of the low bars are in movie making, the absolute 100% worst movie I've ever seen, like everything that happens in the movie on a technical level is a bad decision. Like they just made the wrong choice on every shot. That is called Things. I encourage you, if you need to see this, you're going to want to watch it with friends or watch the Riff Tracks version because you need people to get through this experience. Like, usually I can find something kind of charming or a little redeeming in bad movies. And Things is so far the only movie I've seen where there is absolutely nothing to like in it. Like, just nothing. Not on a technical level, not on anything. Just watched a YouTube video on the movie Cats, and the whole time you're like, why didn't anyone stop this, right? I did watch Cats. The movie. I've seen the play. I enjoy the music. Right, and yeah, Cats I just look at. If I were still on using Twitter, I'd point you to a tweet thread I did while watching Cats, the movie. And yeah, that was an experience. Manos, The Hands of Fate had well-exposed films. Yeah, Manos is another, like, really bad movie. And I keep thinking, okay, at one time I thought Manos was probably the worst movie I'd ever seen. The first time I think all of us were exposed to it when Mystery Science Theater 3000 did it. But then Riff Tracks has found other movies where I'm like, wow, this is worse than Manos. And then I saw Things, and I'm like, this is the lowest bar you can get to. I can't imagine anything being worse than this. So, like, every movie is a step up from Things. No matter how terrible it is, it's better than Things. I watch Cats. A friend group watches Things together over Discord, and sometimes the host likes to put Things on as soon as the credits in to see how many of us stick around. Wow. Most upsetting part was how they treated the SFX folks. They were working 90 hours a week, and the director didn't understand the process. Yeah, because oftentimes some of these bad movies just have horrible working conditions, too. I mean to find my t-shirt and send you pictures of it. Awesome. The bar was low and you strayed under it from the depths of the abyss. Exactly. So yeah. But yeah, so I am going back to Guns of El Chupacabra. I'm hoping it's maybe fun in some way, but I don't know. I'm hearing it's really, really awful. System for SFX contracts is not viable. They cannot bill for more even when there are significant changes. Yeah. All right. Looking for... Oh, movies I've seen recently. Trying to remember the name of it. That is actually really good. The other end of the spectrum. I did see Frankenstein. That was all right. It was not my favorite movie I've seen this year, but not bad. The one on Netflix, yeah, the one that was also released to Netflix, yes. Oh, what is this called? I want to reread the book, but I would need to find my copy. Yeah. If you want the probably closest thing I saw to the closest Frankenstein movie to the book, or I'm sorry, piece of media that's not the book. There was I think it was a TV movie, and it was aired on like TNT or something. And that one follows the book more than even this new Frankenstein movie does. Yeah, I want to say Kenneth Branagh's in it. That could be wrong. Kenneth. Oh yeah. So watch Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. That one. Oh, there was a separate TNT version that came around. Oh, right. Okay. Thanks, Rex. Branagh one was a film release. Yeah. So the TNT one, I'm just mixing them up, but the TNT version follows book better. Randy Quaid isn't okay. Ah, thank you. Yes. If I'm thinking about my movies correctly, that is. They found the right one. Yay! Branagh one had him shirtless, oiled up, and swinging from chains at one point when he was bringing the creature to life. Amazing. John Cleese is Victor's favorite professor. I'm just blanking on everything right now. Movie I'm looking for. Oh, yes. There we go. And I only went to see it because a friend of mine wanted to go, because it is almost 3 hours. And I don't like sitting in a theater for almost 3 hours. Like, I tolerate it for Marvel movies, but yeah. It's called One Battle After Another. And it's fantastic. Like, One Battle After Another and Sinners, probably my two favorite movies that I've seen this year. You worked in a video store, and up to a point, the movie encyclopedia in my head is still good. Awesome. Like, they couldn't make up their minds how to market it, right? So yeah, if you want to see a 2 hour and 50-minute movie, so maybe wait till streaming so you can pause it and relax. But I highly recommend One Battle After Another. It's really good. It's a comedy / drama, so, but it's pretty fantastic. Most of the days of a tight 90 to 118-minute movie, yeah. It's also why I like watching a lot of horror movies in theaters, because even though they're bad, they're only 90 minutes. And I'll go to a theater for a bad horror movie if it's only 90 minutes. Or, about that time. Because sometimes that's what I do with myself on Sunday nights, is I go see a horror movie. As long as it's not over 2 hours, I'll probably go watch it. And that's just me time on Sunday night, so. All right, time to wrap up here. Thanks for being here, everyone. Really appreciate it. These studios forget we have things to do, like doom scroll on our phones for hours, right? Like, I gotta get back to my scrolls, my phone scrolls. Okay, the other reason I go Sunday night, I talked about having anxiety before, is that there's fewer people at these screenings, or free content, really, right? Well, if something happens in the world that would upset me and you didn't know immediately, right? So who is on that could use a raid? Let's see, who do we have here? Let's see, who is on? Oh, that's okay. We're doing a check. That's not. Yeah, thanks for being here, everyone. Listening to me ramble about bad movies. And if you do want to talk about any of the stuff, if you are in my Discord, feel free to send a message there, or message me on Blue Sky, or go to my website, send me an email, because there's an email button. Let's go say hi to Selena. That'll be fun. Thank you all for being here. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Have a wonderful weekend. And yeah, I'll see you all Monday with video games of some kind. See you then. Bye. Stay tuned for the raid.